Hello there, commanders, and welcome to our custom battle between SUNTZU and French Legion. This time, this will be the last one. And since we have already secured victories in the previous 3 battles, this time around we decided to just have some fun and switch things around. So pretty much everybody's playing whatever they want. And Nexus, I guess he has somewhat reconnected. Let's see what both teams are up to. SUNTZU here with 2 melee players and of course support. He's playing Alexander Cavalry. Here we have somewhat of a range duel setup coming in. Greek archers and repeating crossbows for the side of French Legion. Repeating crossbows and slingers for the side of SUNTZU. And slingers were supposed to, counter the archers, but here they are, just shooting glaives. And Mistru here trying to maybe shoot Leonidas, but that's not really going to go through. Solkun getting wrecked, exposing his side. And now Mistru is in a 2v1 range duel. Slingers shooting Find the Shade Leonidas. Shooting another, not Find the Shade Leonidas, but still Leonidas. Mishu has been officially trolled. So there we go, and leave it at that. This time around it's SUNTZU that isn't committing to C at all, and it has been entirely piked off. Piked phalanx, but you can always lower it down. Let's see what's happening on A. Pretty nicely done here by French, but here flanks have been found, and that unit of SWAT has been surrounded and cut down. And after that's happening, that's another 3 units that are going to be freed up. Maybe go for a free one here, maybe fight some flanks in here. Squaw is starting up front, flanking here with his spearmen. Has 2 units of cavalry, 1 of spearmen, and there we go. Flanks coming through. Let's see where that cavalry charge is going to land, if anywhere. Guess he's going for these swords. There we go, reflank, there it is. Side flank, anvil, but 2 morale left without any morale lowering ability. For example, if those were glaives with on Goyu, then that would have been something. Cavalry here searching for healing the island. Somewhat it is being denied. Nupsus coming in, or Nupsi coming in, charging down that cavalry unit, and repeating crossbows focusing it down. As another one is coming around just to heal up. He's suffering minimal casualties, actually 0 casualties, and you can heal that up with double pay, so he doesn't even need to stay in here and heal that up, as you can just heal up as he goes. That cavalry is not going to be finished off yet, but now Nexus, as soon as he finds a flank, that will be C unlocks, and this time around SUNTZU is going to give it up for free. But if they can get A, it'll still be a beneficial trade, because C is neutral, it's like +1 point for French Legion. Whereas if SUNTZU caps A, that will be +1 point for SUNTZU, but also -1, so overall swing is 2 for SUNTZU. There you go, that unit finally got routed. The other 2 here inside a point while routed. The one now getting charged and can also be quite easy surrounded. There we go, -15 morale target. And now point is being capped. Still 2 units outside of the point. Well, can you really call that a unit? We have a 1v1 duel in here. Swords win. In the end, swords better than glaives. Confirmed. By literally 67 HP. Cavalry tries to charge in, manages to get in. At the very last possible second, Quad turns around and charges, but from such a short distance doesn't really do much. And now SUNTZU somehow launching a counter-attack onto B. On this flank, Mistru finding some good volley into Leonidas, but Find the Shade is being called, so well, that was pretty much the last volley that will be anywhere near effective. I guess SUNTZU now need to pull back. Still harass French Legion as they retreat with their ranged units. Now these are the slingers. Repeating crossbows will have a little bit of a harder time doing so. But that was a blob of Scipio cavalry here. All 3 units in oath. Was trying to find a good angle here. Somewhat finds it. That was an okay charge considering this unit is in oath. And surrounded by infantry as well. And they will be slowly cut down. Our core position itself to be able to stop any incoming reinforcements or just spot them in the first place. The base is being capped, as just see completely abandoned by SUNTZU, but base only capped by 1 unit. Spider has respawned in here. Possibly he could push through city to base, increase number of units capping the point or capping base to 4. That doesn't look like he's gonna do it. He's sort of walking towards A, that now has been locked, cleared off that skip recovery, and now all the SUNTZU units are going back to heal. So nicely done. SUNTZU 3 points to 2, overall point advantage already. Now, French Legion, after healing up and clearing up the struggling units in here that were doing a counter push, now they are in a counter push, counter attack of their own. Mistru now positioned here behind the sledge over the forest. Go snipe, sight of the dragon, and the enemy repeating crossbows have been sighted and caught out of position. No response from Vertigo here, so good job Mistru, I guess. Or Mishu. I am Mistru. That's an important distinction to make. Mistru makes the videos, Mishu plays the game and sends the replays to me because he's so nice. Nobody else does. Feels bad. They used to, but I wish I could do like replay commentary or what's the other thing called? Like basically I review a replay and just give advice to somebody, but I don't remember how I was calling that series. That's just how long it was since somebody sent me a replay to review and give him some pointers. Anyway, Mishu finding a volley into that cavalry, but suffers a volley or maybe even a barrage from the archers. Doesn't look like that was a barrage. But yeah, French Legion here in a huge advantage. Cavalry just prowling around that healing zone. It is now being defended by 2 melee units, but there are also 2 melee units incoming from the side of French Legion. And if they get in here, that would be point seriously heavily denied. But Mistru, can he find a healing here? It goes through. All 3 of his units are now full HP, but they're also under pressure and they are no longer full HP, as archers have found some space to just work with and apply the damage. The cavalry is now in a huge blob, but again that blob really makes maneuvering around in here quite difficult and even routes one of the units, as all it needs is a flank that applies 5 morale damage, as Warcry will apply 50, or would it? 40 at this level, or maybe it isn't upgraded. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, repeating crossbows now, getting quite heavily out of position, just blindly going forward to try to deny healing, and found themselves sandwiched by SUNTZU infantry and also under fire from Mistru. But it doesn't really matter as long as they would capture the point. There's only 1 unit from SUNTZU, 5 soldiers left alive in it, trying to contest. Now Nuptsi finds a pretty good charge into the archers. He sneaks that opportunity as the repeating crossbows have been pretty much dealt with, and surges forward trying to get those repeating crossbows in his range. But as they're mixed pretty heavily with the cavalry, he decides to just target some Lonia's spearmen. Quickly, promptly switch to find a shade, and now he targets the archers. And yeah, that should make them useless for the most part. Now he's just going back to heal, trying to retrieve some of his firepower, as now SUNTZU does have some solid melee infantry inside the point, and looks like this French Legion run out of steam as SUNTZU managed to get their their healing through. Now C is being contested under the bridge by an elephant, so yeah, it's pretty much a stalemate in here, just point gain denied. E still being contested, but French Legion has called to run away, and all these players trying to run away, preserve their units, preserve their XP, don't give XP to the enemy, but that also gives SUNTZU a tempo advantage as they can chase them down all the way here to their healing zone. Mishu heals up. I guess he also learned something from the previous battle, as he healed up only the unit that actually needed healing, whereas in the previous battle he healed all units, even though only 1 really needed healing, and the second one was the questionable 57 out of 60. They really need healing, maybe a little. Anyway, SUNTZU now pushing back onto C and actually stands a pretty good chance of capturing it, especially since those pikemen are not in pike phalanx and surrounded by a lot of units. Not enough swords in here, doesn't even really try to push through. It is in fortify. Cavalry comes through, mostly charges its own unit. It didn't make it through to C, so as long as that unit of pikemen is routed, and it will be very soon. There we go, down it drops to 13 and is shattered. Now the cavalry needs to go all the way around, try to contest under the bridge. Looks like it will make it in time, but not in time to keep the healing zone. That Espada, I guess, was counting on being held or preserved. But C hasn't gone the way of SUNTZU yet. Now repeating crossbows of Mishu are closing in. SUNTZU say that they don't really need them at B. Now healing at B is being denied by those slingers very, very nicely. And units are making it on. Nuxi charges forward, tries to prevent those units that are pulling through both his cavalry and now his spearmen to try to make it onto the point. And making it onto the point they didn't, as one of the units of these glaives are getting routed by the mass of infantry that SUNTZU has. The point is also getting capped pretty quickly, but those glaives suffered half of the damage, lost half HP, but they have pulled through, which is the most important thing. They are now defending the point, so really well played. There we go, Mishu has cleared that cavalry that was contesting with his repeating crossbows, and now he's making his way over to B, if that's even needed. Doesn't really look like it. Now the point has been cleared of the glaives that were contesting. Spearmen of Miltiades still trying to push through. They even have phalanx position. Will that be enough to push through all that mass? There is, well, Germanicus actually here. I expected that to be Sulla, Linton's spearmen in break ranks. And no, that was not enough pull through power. SUNTZU just had too much infantry in here. And with capturing C and B, now SUNTZU holds all the points and start pushing into the base of French Legion. Quick exchange in here between ranged units, but either repeating crossbows managed to close distance. That is pretty much decided, unless the archers would have flat arc barrage, then maybe they could somewhat win. The healing goes through, and it is a trade of 3 for 1 and water, I guess. A now being captured by French Legion, and A has it to itself that it is very close to D, so as soon as A is captured, D can also be captured, so you have a huge swing of momentum, huge force capturing the flank. Now they can carry it over very quickly to D, but that will not be allowed, and SUNTZU already positioning its units to defend D. A sort of getting abandoned, but Cheddar still holding on with merely 14 soldiers, but he's holding on. An elephant is on its way. Now the question is, can that elephant make it there in time? As Vertigo already with his repeated crossbows in here, he's facing cavalry. I don't know, that went well for him. A now captured, but is it going to be flipped before that elephant goes through? It is going to get flipped, but is never going to get captured. Nupsi also charging in forward. He does have 2 charges, so using 1 to reposition himself is okay. Now he can charge down the cavalry if he wishes to do so. Decides against this, he doesn't want to run into swords. Or rather, has targeted those repeating crossbows. Can they run away? No, they couldn't teleport in time. And now they're gonna get sandwiched by Nupxi and Quo. And the elephant is making his way through. Thought of denying the healing zone, but that healing zone isn't there, as the point is neutral at the moment. The units are getting pushed out, including an elephant, but then again, elephant can always make it through if he wants, and the point is still actually contested. Now a recharge possibility for Quo wasn't really a reach anymore as that unit turned around, but it was still a pretty decent side charge. So nobody really there to capitalize on any flanking opportunities. And Mishu, wow, again, only 1 unit here, 2 units healing up. Wasn't really looking at the health bars in here. But Mishu has adapted from the previous battle. I guess he realized his own stupidity and then immediately decided not to make such a stupid mistake again. Props for him for, well, fixing a mistake after just 1 battle of making it. Now, base is being capped, all 5 points being captured by SUNTZU, but maybe we'll see if it goes through before the battle ends. It's essentially a race. Can SUNTZU get 3,500 points? Can SUNTZU cap A? or can SUNTZU cap the base? One of those will cause the victory. Oh well, it actually contributes just to getting 3,500 points. It's connection here for archers. I don't know actually about that. If that is a genuine disconnect or maybe a ratio, because I've seen the exact thing happening at the end of one of the Turtle forest battles, I believe. Maybe it is a little bit of a rage quit. But, well, at least he returned for all the other battles as well, so it's not that bad. Anyway, looks like the result of the screen is going to be 4-0 for SUNTZU. But all the battles have been pretty enjoyable, pretty fun to play. Yeah, with some troll moments here and there, but that just adds to the fun of it, I guess, somewhat, maybe, depends. But it looks like the victory will be achieved through getting 3,500 points. B possibly could have been captured. A has been captured in the end, and the victory, yep, not through the base capture, but through 3,500 points. So again, you could have watched this battle if Mishu wasn't an idiot and didn't delete the live recording of it. So this is pretty much the only exclusive place where you can watch it. Sijuren was streaming it, but maybe didn't save, or maybe decided to cancel the recording. I don't know, go ask him, he has a channel. I guess I'll give a shout out to him if I don't forget. Same thing with the links to the playlist where you can watch all the other screens from SUNTZU whenever you want, I guess. So remind me if I hadn't done that. The links should be now somewhere on the screen of yours, either in the video player or somewhere else. But anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Maybe I'll show you how to play slingers in the next one. Maybe. Not a promise, but somewhat of a teaser, I guess. Anyway, until then, I'll see you on Arena's Battlefields Commanders.